In just a few hours underwater, a single diver can surface with abalone worth more than $50,000, enough to turn one day of work into a small fortune. That sky-high price has earned abalone the nickname white gold of the ocean. It fuels a multi-billion-dollar industry and has become a symbol of wealth and status at luxury banquets across Asia's elite circles. But behind those million-dollar trade deals lies a darker truth. Deadly currents waiting to pull divers away, sharks lurking in the shadows, and the constant threat of running out of air in just seconds. So the question is, has our hunger for profit really pushed us forward, or are we driving one of the ocean's rarest creatures toward extinction? This is BlueDiscover, the story of how divers risk it all to harvest multi-million-dollar fortunes. On the surface, abalone looks like nothing more than a sea snail clinging to rocks, but its value has stunned the world. These mollusks thrive in cold, nutrient-rich waters, from South Africa's stormy coastline to California's clear shallows to the coral reefs of Australia and Japan. On the global market, 1 kilogram of abalone can fetch between $1,500 and $2,000 US. Every year, this trade adds up to billions. That puts abalone in the same league as Alaskan king crab or bluefin tuna seafood, reserved for the world's wealthiest tables. But that incredible value also makes it one of the most hunted species on the planet, driving divers to push their limits in some of the ocean's most dangerous waters and fueling an ongoing debate. Is this a once-in-a-lifetime economic opportunity, or a reckless gamble eating away at the sea's last reserves? Because behind every elegant dinner plate lies a battle for survival, men who risk their lives every single day to bring abalone up from the deep. This isn't just a job, it's a fight against the sea itself. To reach them, abalone divers plunge 10 to 20 meters below the surface, where water pressure crushes against the chest and oxygen runs thin. One wrong breath, a faulty air tank, or a sudden surge, and a routine dive can become a one-way trip into darkness. One wrong breath, a tank malfunction, or a sudden rip current, that's all it takes to turn a dive into a one-way trip. Accidental suffocation, decompression sickness, or the silent shadow of a shark. These are fears that never leave a diver's mind. In many coastal communities, abalone diving isn't just an occupation, it's a legacy. Fathers pass down their knives, their worn-out wetsuits, and every survival trick they know to their sons. Each successful catch isn't just income, it's a badge of pride and endurance. But critics ask a hard question. Is it right that such deadly labor only exists to serve luxury meals for the wealthy? To some, abalone divers are heroes, living symbols of courage. To others, they represent the brutal imbalance of a world where danger feeds desire and risk feeds profit. Before every dive, the ritual begins: a thick wetsuit, air tank mask, and a small pry knife. Everything has to be perfect, because down there, one mistake means no second chance. No one ever knows if today's dive will end with nets full of abalone or silence beneath the waves. As the diver's body sinks into the freezing blue, sunlight fades away, replaced by an eerie darkness that presses in from all sides. Down on the ocean floor, abalone cling to sharp rocks like living stones, calm on the surface, but nearly impossible to pry loose. Hesitate for just a few seconds and they lock themselves tight, their grip turning to cement. The diver's breath grows heavy, echoing through the air hose. The pressure gauge blinks red times running out. On one side lies thousands of dollars worth of abalone, on the other exhaustion, suffocation, or the pull of a deadly current. In that instant, the line between fortune and tragedy becomes razor thin. One wrong twist, one lost sense of direction, and a diver can get trapped in the reef, vanishing forever into the cold, endless dark. Because out here, this isn't just a job, it's a fight to stay alive. It's a battle for survival where every minute is stretched tight like a drawn bowstring. But the question remains, is all this danger worth it? Just to serve a luxury dish on a banquet table? Or are there darker secrets hiding beneath the surface of the abalone trade? Abalone diving has long been known as one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. Under the ICC, a single mistake, a ruptured air tank, a sudden whirlpool, or a lost breath can turn a routine dive into a fatal descent. Every year, dozens of divers die. Some suffocate, others get trapped deep inside reefs, and many simply vanish, swallowed by the endless dark of the ocean. And it's not just the sea itself that kills, predators lurk too. In South African waters, the shadow of a great white shark often forces divers to abandon their catch and flee for their lives. Even when they make it back to the surface, sudden storms can rise, without warning, flipping small boats and sending millions of dollars worth of gear to the bottom. And that's the cruel paradox. On land, a single plate of abalone can sell for thousands of dollars. But beneath the waves, each one can cost a diver his blood or his life. So is this the ultimate act of courage, or a brutal trade-off where human lives are gambled for luxury? In the culinary world, abalone isn't just seafood, it's a status symbol. In Japan, live abalone is sliced thin for sashimi, a delicacy that can cost hundreds of dollars for a small plate. In Korea, it's boiled into porridge, a rare tonic for children and the elderly. And in China, dried abalone is considered a treasure, once served at royal banquets, now flaunted at tables of the ultra-rich. Abalone is praised for its crisp, sweet flavor and its rarity, earning the title King of Seafood. But that same prestige makes it one of the most controversial foods on the planet. To some, it's a marine jewel. To others, it's a symbol of greed and inequality. Because behind those million-dollar parties lies a hidden war. A war fueled by demand. Illegal harvesting has exploded across the globe, especially in South Africa and Australia. The abalone black market now generates hundreds of millions of dollars every year, powerful enough to draw in organized crime syndicates. As a result, wild abalone populations have collapsed in some regions, down by more than 90% over the past few decades. Governments have been forced to respond with strict fishing quotas, and in some waters, complete bans. But those same measures have sparked new controversy. Local fishermen argue they've been robbed of their livelihoods, while conservationists warn that without drastic protection, abalone could vanish from the ocean forever. And so the question divides the world. Is abalone an economic treasure to be harvested, or a natural heritage that must be preserved at all costs? If blue crab is the ocean's seasonal treasure and lobster the crowned king of luxury, then the American coast hides another quiet powerhouse, the green mussel. 60,000 tons harvested each year, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. It may seem ordinary, but the green mussel is the backbone of America's sustainable seafood economy, a product that carries national pride, cultural tradition, and economic weight. Beneath the cold waters of the Atlantic coast, thousands of these mussels cling to rocks, wooden pilings, and long ropes anchored to the sea floor. To harvest them, fishermen deploy specialized vessels fitted with dredges or heavy rakes that drag along the bottom, pulling up thick layers of mussels mixed with mud and sand. The catch can weigh hundreds of kilos, and as it's hauled aboard icy water, seaweed and silt spill across the deck, each haul is a battle against the cold and the sea. In some regions, divers must go down themselves, prying each mussel loose with knives and rakes one by one under crushing pressure and near-freezing temperatures. It's exhausting work that tests every ounce of strength and endurance. But by the time those mussels reach the surface, their value has multiplied many times over. From the seabed to the factory floor, the transformation begins. At coastal processing, plants' raw mussels are poured onto conveyor belts, washed clean of mud and algae, sorted, steamed, and flash frozen or canned to meet international standards. Workers wash away the mud and sand, scrape off barnacles and broken shells, and carefully remove the dead or undersized ones. The mussels are then steamed, separated, and either quick frozen or canned, all under strict international standards. In just a few hours, what began as muddy clusters from the ocean floor are transformed into premium seafood, ready for export to Europe, Japan, and Latin America. Each batch multiplies in value, turning the humble green mussel into a global brand and a lifeline worth millions for fishermen and the seafood industry alike. The green mussel proves that even the simplest creature can sustain entire economies if treated with respect and care. But beneath the waves, the ocean still hides an even rarer treasure, abalone, the diamond of the sea. If you've enjoyed this dive into the deep, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Join us next time as we uncover more stories from the ocean floor, tales of danger and survival. From mussels to abalone, the journey to harvest the ocean's treasures is never short of drama, because every catch carries a story, and every wave hides a secret. Yet beyond the glamour of global trade, marine scientists are sounding an alarm. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, nearly 34% of the world's fisheries are now overexploited, and species like abalone and green mussels are among those most at risk. In South Africa alone, authorities estimate that over 2,000 tons of abalone are poached every year, most of it smuggled into black markets in Asia. These numbers reveal a deeper truth. The ocean's wealth is not infinite. Without sustainable limits, today's fortune could become tomorrow's extinction. For every plate served at a luxury banquet, there is a story of danger, survival, and a fragile balance between human desire and nature's mercy. The question remains, will we learn to harvest wisely, or will the ocean one day send us the bill? The ocean has fed us for centuries, but its future depends on how we feed our conscience. If we take too much too fast, the silence below may be all that's left. So what do you think? Is abalone a symbol of human courage and survival, or proof of our endless greed? Should the hunt continue for profit, or should we finally let the ocean breathe? Drop your thoughts below. We read every single comment. Your voice matters more than you think. If you believe that stories like this can inspire and awaken a sense of responsibility in how we live, please like, subscribe, and join BlueDiscover, where every story carries a real lesson and every frame is a journey of awareness. See you in the next video.